Here on the Ready Wammo Breakfast. Time to travel on over to the Mohawk Studios in Wellington City, where the Geek Show is standing by. Ms. Behaviour joining us from the Geek Show today. Good morning, Ms. B.
Good morning, Wammo.
And today we're talking about a little trip down to the Niwa Science Day in Auckland City in the Cloud on the wharf there last week, where it was basically a showcase of what Niwa does. What a great day it was as well.
It was good, wasn't it? It was good to catch up with you in the flesh.
Yes. In
real life. But yeah, it was fun. It was being held in the Cloud, called Science in the City. And it was a one-day exhibition last Thursday, just to show what Niwa does. So it was lots of fun. There was heaps of stuff to see and play with. There was underwater submersible robots that the kids were playing with. There was a quadricopter that you could fly. There was fish, there was coral exhibitions, there was a really funky looking crazy eel like more strange creature from the depths of the sea.
Yeah.
And also the Tangaroa, the boat that goes out on these amazing expeditions to get all of this scientific data that's so important, was moored up and people were having tours of it.
Yeah, so this boat, I think it's about to go out again, or it has just gone out again. I mean, this is the boat that tours around to the deepest parts of the ocean around New Zealand, and really discovers exactly what's down there, and also monitors our fish stocks and that sort of thing, right?
That's right. I mean, these guys are amazing. I was lucky enough to meet some of the engineers on the way back through, actually, and I was saying to them, it's the equivalent. What they do is the equivalent of going out to deep space, to the outer asteroid belt.
Yeah.
These guys go out on the ship to the middle of nowhere. They were telling me there was one patch in the South Pacific that's the furthest away you can possibly be to land, and they don't only take the ship to these amazing, places. They do scientific research, whatever the weather, big seas and crazy storms. And they're doing this really important, really intensive work, science on the seas. I just think it's amazing what they do.
And there's some pretty high-tech equipment from what we could see there as well. Pretty advanced stuff. The boat may not be, like the newest boat on the dock, but certainly what's on board and the people on board are pretty smart.
That's right. I mean, it's incredible what they've got there. Looking at, they've got all manner of really funky stuff on there. They've got underwater RVs. They've got, just a science lab basically on the high seas. So you can see what Niwa do at the Niwa website, which is on screen now. And there's a little bit more information about the Science in the City. But basically, it's atmospheric research, it's aqua-biodiversity research. They were doing a talk while we were there about tagging sharks.
Oh, yes, yeah.
All of the information that you can get from just seeing where sharks go, how far they travel. And also it's just really important to track the changes to the environment, because of course this affects all of us. So the guys on the boat, they're actually off to the Kermadec Ridge soon. So that's the next expedition. I think they've just set sail for that now. And they're doing a daily blog on the website thekermadec.org.
Yeah. So
if you want to sort of follow what they're up to and what they're studying and what they're seeing, then you can walk on over to that site, and they're doing a day by day, update on what they're looking at. But no, it's quite extraordinary, because the oceans are so important, and it's one of the things, because you can't see it, you don't really know what's happening under there, so people don't really care as much. You can see environmental damage, you can see changes on land very easily, but because it's to most people invisible, they're not really aware of it. So I just think it's really romantic what they do. And they were telling me some stories, and apparently one of them throws messages in bottles out when they're in this patch of sea, and they've been picked up all over the world, and messages now are starting to come in from all these people. I think there's a judge in Perth who emailed the guy just the other day to say, I've got your message in the bottle. And I just think it's extraordinary. So I'm hoping in May, when they're back in Wellington, that I can go and have a look around the ship, because I just think it's fantastic what they do.
It's funny that message in a bottle thing. I mean, it may seem like a fun thing, but it's actually probably something scientific to that, and finding out exactly where currents go from that point where you've dropped it in the water.
Absolutely, and I know that they do similar, slightly more scientific approaches to getting the same data. But yeah, I just think it's extraordinary. And I mean, science is a pretty intense job anyway in a lab, let alone doing it on a big ship that's moving around in huge storms. And it's like I said to them, if anything happens, there's no one to rescue them. It is literally like being in deep space. They have to keep that ship going. They have to keep the experiments rolling. And I think that the last big expedition they did to Antarctica, they were literally hauling up new species and throwing them at the scientists as quickly as they could categorize them. I just think it's amazing. So, you've got to think that we take for granted a lot of this work that just happens every day. And that we are so lucky in New Zealand to have this amazing, rich ocean. We've still got, amazing fish. I mean, I think back to the UK now. When you go to a fish and chip shop, what you get is nothing like what we have over here when we go out for our fish and chips. So we're really, really lucky in New Zealand.
Yeah. So
all hail to the Niwa guys. So if you walk on over to the Geek Show's website, thegeekshow.com, I've put up some links there as well to a few pictures. There's a snap of yours truly. There's a picture, and I've got some more which I'll stick up later today. But if you want to follow what Niwa does, they've got a Twitter feed at Niwa_NZ. They've got a Facebook page, a Google Plus site, and they're going to be putting pictures up from the Science in the City exhibition and video clips all through this week. So, go and have a look at what they do. And if you get a chance to go to one of these exhibitions, highly recommend it. It's well worth it.
Excellent. Go and check it out. And also Ms. Behaviour on Twitter as well. Thanks very much, Ms. B. See ya.
See ya.
It's now